Okay guys, it is Cortessa, and what I'm going to be walking you guys through today is how to create a database using Microsoft Access 2016. The first thing you want to do is click on it, or search it if you need to. In my case I did, and it should look something like this, and you're going to want to go ahead and click blank database to start up a new one. I've already done that, and to save time I've filled in provided information. Once that's done, you're going to want to go ahead and click Create up here in the toolbar. And once you do that, you're going to want to go ahead and click Table, and then a new one will appear just like this. Once you have that, you're going to want to go ahead and input either your provider information or information you figured out before creating your database. By doing so, you want to go ahead and click the field labeled ID. You can right click it and then rename it to whatever is required. And for me, I had to do 3 tables, so I went ahead and did those exact same steps 3 different times for these. Inputting the information is easy. In this case, the data type is saved as auto number. You're going to want to change that to short text, and that'll allow you to type within the boxes. And once you do that, you fill everything out for however many tables you need. All the steps are the same, and then you're going to want to save them, which is easy as well. Right click, save. I'm going to go ahead and exit this one out because I no longer need it. Sorry about that. Once that's done, you're going to go ahead and create your queries. And to do that, you're going to go back up here to Create. And instead of clicking Table, you're going to click Query Design. And since I want information or answers from each of these tables, I'm going to go ahead and add each one to my query. And you can go ahead and close it after that. Once that's done, you're going to see Field, and the cursor is already going to be highlighted there. You're going to want to click that. And since our first question is how often did Potter study for his classes this semester, I'm going to need the information, last name, in this case, Potter. And it's best to specify it that way because in all of the tables, the names are there. Here we go. The names are there, and we really just want to focus on Potter. So in the query, we type his name so that we can get specific information. And once you have last name in this field, in the second one, we would like to know course names and credit hours. So we're going to do that here. Credit hours here. And the last thing we're going to need is hours studied. We're going to go ahead and put that there. Once you do that, you want to go ahead and go down to this bottom right corner to the ruler that says Design View. Click that. And I'm sorry, we're not going to do that. What we're going to actually do is click the table. I'm sorry, we're already in Design View. We're going to click this table here, and then that'll give you the answer you were looking for. That gives us the required number of hours he should have used or he should have studied. You want to go ahead and save it by right-clicking, save, and then there it is. You would have to name it, but in this case I already did. So we're going to move on to the second question we had, which was, how much additional time should Potter study per class? And in order to do that, we need the formula of credit hours per class times 2. From there, we went back to Design View, click on this last column here. We're going to click Builder, and we're gonna need credit hours per class times 2. So what I want to do is close bracket. I'm sorry, not that one. Sorry. Times 2. So what we're going to do is go ahead and go to operators. Double click on the asterisk for multiplication. 2. Click OK. That gives us our expression. We're going to go back to table. And there's our answer for our second question, which is the required study time. That's what he should have used. And then right click again, save. After you saved it, we want to go ahead and rename it. So we need to go back to design view, which we're in. Then you can go to here, right click here, rename. Alright, we have to close it in order to rename it. And let's close it. And rename it to Potter Study Time. I'm sorry, Potter's required study time. There we go. And that is the name for that one. And all we have to do next is another query wizard, so we can find the required study time minus hours studied, and that is our study time deficiency. So we're going to go ahead and go back here, go to this last column, and we're going to go to builder again. We're going to go bracket required that there, much easier, that minus our study. Okay, so go ahead and go to table view. Now that we know how often Potter studied, so we're looking for his required study time. And the way we have to figure that out is to go to Query Wizard, go back to Create, click Query Wizard instead of Query Design. We want a simple Query Wizard. We want all of these a part of our query, so we're just going to go ahead and click this double arrow and it'll transfer everything over. Do that, finish. We will need to go to design view once we have that. Once we're in design view, click this last column here. And once we have that, we're going to go to builder. In order to find out Potter's required study time, we need credit hours per class times 2. So what we're going to do is double click this, and then I'll add credit hours to our expression. Then we're going to need to go to operators, double click the asterisk for multiplication, and then of course 2. Once we have that, we're just going to go ahead and click OK, and then it'll come up here. And once we're there, we're going to go back to this and click the datasheet view or the table. And here's our answer to the required study times he should have, to the amount of time he should have spent studying in comparison to what he already did. So now that we have the answer to our query, we're going to go ahead and rename it required study time. So to do that, we need to go ahead and close it, save, and then we're going to right click here, rename to required study time. Sorry. There we go. And that gives us the answer to our second one. Now we can move on to our third query, which was how much additional time should Potter study per class. So now we know how much time he studied, how much time he should have studied, and now we're trying to find out what the difference is, or the deficiency between the two. In order to find out that one, we need to go here, make sure it's showing, go to Design View, make sure the last column is highlighted, go to Create, go to Query Wizard, I don't have to save it, go to Simple. We want all of these, including the required study time, a part of the table, so we're going to go double arrow again, next, finish, and then now we have this, which is our query. We're going to go back to Design View. We're going to be sure that's highlighted, go to Builder again. We want required study time minus hours studied, so I'm going to double click that, go to Operators, we're going to double click for subtraction, and we need to subtract hours studied, so we're going to go back to this, and then we're going to double click hours studied, and hit OK. That'll give us the expression again, hit Table View, and that is your answer. That gives us the deficiency. We're going to rename this, but first we need to close, save, right click, rename, and we need to name it Study Time Deficiency. Oops. Alright, and now that we have the answer to our other question, we want to go ahead and ask our third one, which is our fourth one. Overall, how much additional time should Potter study? In order to do that, we need to go to Design View again, rename the part that said Expression 1 Study Time Deficiency, because that's what it is. Make sure this last column is highlighted. Click Totals, and then that'll add this column here that says Group By, but instead of Group By, we want we need to find the sum of, so instead of Group By, we need to change these all to sum. Go to Table View. So we want to go to Design View, go to Query Wizard, Simple, and we want everything except for course name. So you can transfer everything over this way, but make sure you highlight course name and take it back, or you just do one at a time. And so next, finish. And then we'll make sure this is the one selected. We'll go to Design View, go to Totals, and then this column will come up. And instead of, we leave last name at Group By because we still want it to be Potter. But instead of these being Group By, we want to change it to Sum. And then here you go, the answer to the last question, which is the sum total of all the hours. Alright guys, that's it. Once you get the hang of it, it should be fairly easy. But that's all.